You can never have too much glass. Or can you? For this Namibia trip, I rented 600mm of Canon f4 goodness. Glass so thick it makes me look thin. Glass so sharp it cuts through the world like butter. The Canon 600mm is a beast. But is it worth carrying around a lens the size of a moped and the price of a car? Can glass like this make me a better photographer? For this Namibia series, I'm packing around so much lens that I'm consciously worried that I'm compensating. You know, for a lack of talent. Today, with the cheetahs, flamingos, and the ghost towns of southern Namibia, I get my first taste of what life is like at the back end of 600mm. This is 600mm of Canon goodness. This is 600mm f4 version 1, and yes, there's a new version out that's amazing, but this is crazy. I have never had a lens this big in my entire life. Here in Namibia, there's gonna be a couple wildlife opportunities, and I wanted to have the power of 600mm. So I rented this in Windhoek, I have it for the trip, and this morning, we're going out here at Quiver Tree to photograph a couple of the rescue cheetahs they have here. Let's do it.
I told myself that maybe he ain't worth it. Too bad I hate advice. 'Cause out of sight and out of mind is perfect. It's so hard to decide.
The cheetahs are literally right here in front of us and just hanging out. I missed an awesome shot because I was explaining to everybody how to have the camera set, and then the cheetahs just came bolting across the landscape with dust and all the light in the background. It was absolutely perfect. It was a perfect photo, but I wasn't set up for it, so I'm kind of a little bit choked right now. But beautiful animals to have this close to you. It's incredible.
Oh, he got me good in his pocket. I know that I'm just a treat. Well, the taste is better. Oh, go on, chewing my bones out when he's done is spitting me out. I just can't help myself. One for the pain, no hesitation. Took us we can, nothing can save us. Yeah, I just wanna be around you. I just wanna be free for the night, all in or nothing. Not gonna stop, dance till the morning light. I just wanna be around you. I just wanna be around you.
So maybe not as exciting as the cheetahs, but we now have meerkats and mongoose up on the hill. The group's slowly getting closer and closer behind some hides to the meerkats. Since I have 600mm, I'm kind of just hanging back here, taking pictures from a distance, but it's been a good morning so far. The one thing I will say about this lens, the 600mm, is it actually shocks me how fast it focuses. It's focusing lightning fast. I haven't obviously reviewed the images yet, but it seems like the focus is on point on just by spinning back through the images. I was photographing the cheetahs into backlight, which sometimes makes the focus even harder, and it didn't seem to have a single issue, so I'm pretty impressed.
He looks at me like I know what he's thinking, but I don't have a clue. True talent in avoiding conversation, yeah.
It was a fun morning. Obviously, really fun morning. I need to engage the sun blocker. It was a fun morning, as I said, and I know that people are gonna ask where the cheetahs came from, because this isn't a sanctuary. It's like a rest camp that has cheetahs, and you can never really be sure. But I talked to the owners and I tried to get information, and I asked because they claim they're rescues, and what they told me, or what the owner told me, is that the university had cheetahs that they thought were pharaoh, and they actually gave birth. And so they had these two cheetahs that were, you know, born at the university, and they had nowhere to put them, nowhere to raise them. So they have a massive amount of area here where they've raised them, and they can kind of run pretty free. So that's the story behind it. Now, we have more fun in store today. We're driving basically 3 hours towards the coast of Lutritz. That's where there's a ghost town, and that's our sunset photography location today. So we're gonna pack up, and we'll see you there.
I know he got me good in his pocket. I know that I missed a treat. Well, the taste is bitter. Oh, go on, chewing my bones, and when he's done, he's spitting me out. I just can't help myself.
We made it to Lutritz. Just had a bit of a chill out, relax time here at the hotel. And now we have two things on our agenda this afternoon. We're gonna head to a place called Diaz Point. There potentially is some wildlife, seals, maybe flamingos, stuff like that out that way. And then we're gonna head to Coleman's Cop, which is the ghost town that's kind of got dunes taking it over. So 2 photo adventures coming up today. This is like the 3rd of the day already. So much good photography happening.
One for the pain, no hesitation. Took us again, nothing can save us.
Okay, Diaz Point, the group's kind of spreading out looking for animals. I'm told there's potentially some seals up there. I've got the 600mm on, and I have to say I'm loving it. I looked at some of the cheetah images from this morning, and they're super sharp. I'm really impressed. The one thing I'm also noticing is I'm not minding at all the fixed focal length. I was really worried that not having any zoom capabilities would leave me feeling restricted, but instead, I'm kind of finding it nice to have limited composition options, especially with wildlife when you're kind of just trying to get the shot. So, yeah, I'm enjoying this. Let's go see if we can find some seals.
I just wanna be around you. I just wanna be free for the night. All in or nothing, not gonna stop. Dance till the morning light. I just wanna be around you. I just wanna be around you.
The seals are way out on that island. You would need 2,000mm worth of lens to even have a shot at capturing them. So I think we're gonna move on. There were some flamingos just by the road. So far, we photographed cheetah, meerkat, mongoose, attempted some seals, and now on to flamingos.
Free for the night. All in or nothing, not gonna stop. Dance till the morning light. I just wanna be around you. I just wanna be around you. I just wanna be around you. I just wanna be
We are now at Coleman's Cop, one of the most photographed places in Namibia, and it's such a cool place and cool time because we have it all to ourselves. I got our group special permits to be in here after hours. Usually they're only open from 8 a.m. to 1, but I got our group special permits to be here at sunset and then tomorrow at sunrise as well, which is really cool. So we're gonna walk around, and I'm not sure I'm gonna take pictures today. I really want to kind of find a cool composition for sunrise. The sun's setting back that way, all the buildings are here, trying to find like light coming through, trying to find some dunes in a room. I just want to explore right now and hopefully find something really cool that I can get to tomorrow morning. And if I get a photo tonight, that's just a bonus.
You really don't know which way to turn. You're always one step behind. Going down this road again. I don't wanna explain myself. You grasp for every crumb of hope, although you've reached the end of my road.
This place is fascinating, but I'm gonna take my bag off to show you this. I think the biggest challenge to this place is finding a spot that people haven't been. Coleman's Cop has become so popular, not just with photographers, but all tourists, that there's footprints everywhere. I just came across this window And I don't want to ruin the foreground too much, but in here, there's just the most beautiful, beautiful shot, I think. There's some footprints on it, but I think it still works. Let me flip you around.
That's the last I'll ever be.
So I've kind of got this pretty simple shot here, and I think that's the whole thing about this location is trying to find light and frames. And the light is backlit, but because it's kind of on this dusty window, it's glowing, and you're getting light coming right down this walkway of sand. And yes, it's covered in footprints, but I think that actually adds to it. So a very, very, very simple image that I'm gonna shoot at f11, a half a second, and then when I edit it, I'm gonna drop the clarity way down and just add to the softness of this image. But I'm not mind blown by this image. I'm gonna find better for tomorrow morning, I hope. But I did wanna shoot this now just because the light's not gonna be the same tomorrow. It's gonna be coming in from the other direction. So let's just grab this quick. And then find something else.
The glimpse that you think you see ain't nothing that I'll ever be. That's the last I'll ever be.
So I actually got an image I like. I've been looking for frames. It's what I've been looking for the most. And what I realized is that it looks really nice if I can get the camera lens really close to the first frame and just really blur that out, because it really draws the eye into the light and the subject. So I got a photo I really like that I won't be able to get tomorrow because the light's gonna be in a different direction.
That's the last I'll ever be.
And right now we're entering, I guess this is our fourth building. It's called the Crankin' House. I'm really hoping that doesn't mean the crack house.
That's the last I'll ever be.
Sun's just setting now, and this place is so cool. I don't know if I found a composition for the morning, because I think the best compositions are at sunset when the light's being filtered through the windows, because the dunes kind of go this way into the sunset. So I'm not sure I'm gonna find great photos in the morning, so I'm glad I got one or two shots that I like here at sunset. Today's been awesome. A phenomenal day on this photo tour here in Namibia. This is I guess the first full day of shooting sunrise and sunset, and we just saw and did so much that it almost feels like it's been multiple days. Final thought on the 600mm Canon lens is that I have a lot of respect for sports photographers and wildlife photographers that are doing action wildlife, because wow, it's hard on a 600mm lens to just find whatever action it is really quickly. I definitely struggled with that today, and I found a newfound admiration of photographers that do that sort of thing. I'm looking forward to shooting the 600mm a lot more on this trip. We're here again tomorrow morning for sunrise, and then tomorrow afternoon we're heading to Sossusvlei, where we might get the 600mm on some landscape. I'm going to try to do landscape photography with a 600mm lens. We'll see how that works. I'll see you guys tomorrow on that episode, and I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.